Mhm.
Oh. It's like trying to start over. It's working. Aha! Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Robin, and I'm here with a wonderful guest. I'm so excited to share with you, Leslie Keeler Saglio. And just so you know, she is joining me at 4 in the morning from Barcelona. I said that right?
You totally said it right.
So this is a true treasure and a gift. And so welcome, Leslie. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. And I know you're somewhere else in the world as well.
That is
exciting.
I am in Costa Rica, and so we're having two faraway countries, and hopefully our signals are working well tonight.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to invite Leslie because she is doing some very cool work in the world that I do think you guys, you gals over here in this group are going to feel inspired by and want to learn from her. And I think this work is a good, mix with what we're doing here. It's going to support your development in having healthy relationships. So let me read a little bit about Leslie, and then we'll dive into the interview. So Leslie mentors women who experience success but feel stuck, who want to integrate more spiritual awareness in their life and work so they can profit from a purposeful life. With expertise spanning over 15 years, from Hollywood executive to startup co-founder to living overseas for over a decade, she understands well what it takes to thrive in a stressful and challenging global environment. Leslie is a certified coach, speaker, and founder of the Feminine Power and Purpose Immersion, the creator of the On Purpose Collective Facebook group. She's a regular facilitator at Soho House and has been featured in Well and Good, Mind Body Green, Thrive Global, as well as internationally with Virgin, White Ibiza, Yoga and Lifestyle Magazine, and Yoga Magazine. Awesome. And Leslie is an LA native and London expat. Leslie currently lives in sunny Barcelona with her French husband of 15 years and 2 young children. And she loves to enjoy yoga and being in nature and playing with her sweet puppy Kula. So great to have you here.
So lovely to be here. Thank you for that very warm introduction. I'm awake now.
Well, I'm curious because I know you've had quite a life transition, and you've, not only moved across the world, but changed careers in a big way. And now you help women in their, really finding purpose and as you call it, feminine power. And so I'm just curious if you could say a bit about how you came to this, big life change. This is such a huge transformation from the executive lifestyle you had before.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Good question. And I'll try to keep it succinct. So as everyone knows, I'm coming to you from Barcelona, Spain, where I've been for 5.5 years now. And before that, London for 10. And as Robin mentioned, I'm from Los Angeles, California originally. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I've lived in the States, but yeah, just very much, I would say this lifestyle and this life of supporting women kind of found me. As you mentioned, I come from a very business background. I went to USC Business School, and most people in LA back then start in the entertainment industry. And I worked for one of the biggest studios in the world, for Warner Brothers, and then co-founded a real estate company. And then I met my husband online, which was a very, very taboo subject back then. This was like over 15 years ago, so before smartphones. Had a long distance relationship, and long story short, I moved my life over to London, got married, became a mother. And it was during that time when I took a bit of a break to enjoy my children that I experienced the loss of 2 of my loved ones, my best friend from childhood and my father. And it was through that very painful time in my life that just basically took me to the depths of, I didn't even know it could be so painful, that I started to question my own beliefs, how I was raising my children, what I was bringing into my home, what was I placing importance on? Because up until that point, I worked so hard and believed that all those things would fulfill me, right? Like getting the job, going to the good school and getting all those shiny objects, and, got married, had children, but still deep inside, I felt like something was missing, but I didn't know what it was. And it was through actually the loss of my best friend that I found, that which made me feel whole and complete. Like I found my way back to yoga. I started a meditation practice. And once I realized how transformative those practices were, I just felt it would be selfish not to share it in some way. And so that's what I did. I became a certified yoga teacher and just started sharing it with my friends, and, made it a bit of a career while juggling, being a mother to 2 kids. And then I had students coming up to me and asking me, how can I go even further than besides my yoga practice? How can I heal such and such? And, what did you do? And I myself had my own mentor at the time as well, in addition to, those transformative practices such as yoga and meditation. And so that's what I did. I got certified as a wellness coach in London, and started, of course, just coaching friends and family first. And really that's how it all started. And so here we are today. And I've never felt more fulfilled and satisfied in my personal life and professional life. And I would say that, because of that and being able to turn my pain into purpose, that's kind of my passion now, is helping women to do the same.
Awesome. Wow, that is super inspiring. Oops. Are we still there? Okay, good. I lost my picture, went away for a moment. Yeah, and I really hear the power of the great losses that you experienced, which were quite transformational for you and helped you really see, take another look at your life. And so, yeah, that's really huge. Thank you for sharing that very touching story. I can see that, it's still right there. So thank you for that. And I'm sure many women here have, experienced a lot of loss also. And it's something I support women through quite a bit, because we all have grief in our lives, and if we don't work with it, then we just feel stuck. So, and I know you support women with getting unstuck. So really glad you were able to do a lot of your own work in that way. I am curious about, we called this interview Living on Purpose. And, it's sort of to live your purpose is sort of a buzz phrase these days. Well, and I think it really has been for quite a while, but I'm just curious, what you mean by that. What do you mean when you say to live your purpose or living on purpose?
Another good question. Fired away. So obviously this can mean different things to many people based on, how you grow up and your beliefs and your values and what it is you desire in your life. But I think at the core, a few things. The first one being that you feel grounded to a calling that's bigger than yourself. So it's not entirely about the paycheck and the fancy title, which of course, that's important, right? We need money. We need money to buy things and eat and have a roof over our head. But as I realized, and I realized with my clients that have experienced success, is that that doesn't guarantee satisfaction, that doesn't guarantee meaning in your life. And so when you can connect your life and your work to something bigger than yourself, which usually means just being in service to other people. How can you contribute to this world in a way that will leave behind a legacy that can contribute to the life of other, people after you? Because that's really what it's all about, is, we're all gonna live and die at some point. And that's kind of what I realized when my best friend and father passed away, is that we are mortal. And so how do we want to be remembered, and connecting to something bigger than yourself? And then also, I think big part of that is letting go of the idea of failure. I know one of my mentors told me one thing that was so simple and so profound, is that she said, there are no mistakes, there are only lessons. So I think the more and more we can connect to that idea that we are, every one of us is exactly where we need to be. We have no idea. None of us holds this crystal ball, although some people think they do, that everything is moving us closer and forward to, evolving us on our spiritual path, if you would. And the universe has something so much bigger than we can ever imagine. And so if we can really live by that idea that there are no mistakes, there's no failure, and that there is a divine reason in everything, I think that really lets go a lot of the stress, anxiety, overwhelm that we have to do it all ourselves and that we're meant to do it alone.
Love that. Yes, I'm in total agreement. And it's funny that you say that, because I had a teacher who also said no mistakes. And she did it, which was so funny to me, because you and I are both yoga teachers.
That's
no mistakes.
That's how it all started. And so
no
here we are today. And I've never felt more fulfilled.
It's funny that you say that, because I had a teacher who also said no mistakes.
Hold on.
And she did it.
Here's some feedback.
So funny to me, because you and I are both yoga teachers. No mistakes.
That's how it all started. And so here we are today. And I've never felt more.
Sorry. My bad. Okay.
It's funny that you say that, because I had.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. We are just in real time, real life. So
that's it. Life's in session, and we're in technology globally. So
perfect, right? No.
it's all an opportunity for learning. So thank you for dropping that awesome wisdom into our group tonight. And hello to Kira. So great to see you here. And as you're here, if you have comments or questions for Leslie, please drop that in the chat, as she's going to be available for some of that. We're going to keep going with our interview Q&A here. So the other thing that you talk about in your work, which is so intriguing to me, is feminine power. And I see that phrase and I'm like curious, what do you mean by feminine power? How is it different just from being empowered? So yeah, let's illuminate us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, as you know, and I'm sure your sisterhood group, is that we all have both masculine and feminine energies. We both have masculine and feminine power, and we need both of them to balance, not just ourselves, but Mother Earth has both those energies as well. But in the sense of women, what I found with my clients and I found with myself is that there's been a huge imbalance of that feminine energy and that feminine power, if you will, specifically in women, that there has been, it's been for too long, if you will, society has overvalued masculine qualities, the masculine way of doing things. And because of that, as women, we have consciously, subconsciously been disempowered and feel like masculine is the way that we should live and work in this world. And so that's what we have been doing for a very long time. And now what we're realizing is that, it's not sustainable. It's not the way forward. And in fact, like as Dalai Lama says, it's the Western woman that's going to heal the world. And so it's through, exactly, that's it. Let's move through that. So it's through tuning into more of those feminine energies and knowing that it is safe to engage in your emotions. It's okay to not keep going and keep doing, and to rest and relax and restore. And it's okay not to always be a giver and to allow yourself to receive all those natural things that we don't, at least what I found is that we with my clients and myself, is that we don't know that that's allowed, that's okay. And it's about like full allowance and acceptance that that's who we are, that's the truth of who we are, and that's super powerful. Like, in fact, as women, we are the source of creation, we are the source of life. And it was actually women that were revered for so long. It was the great mother and not the, not father. So for so long it was the woman, and now it's turning back. As you know, and you're, in the States and I'm from the States, we just saw something really monumental that just happened in the White House and in the US and for the world, a woman of color, which I can speak to that. I don't look very dark, but I am Asian American. Both my parents are Filipino. So I grew up very much with that sense of not knowing my value, not knowing my worth, having a lack of confidence, and not knowing that it's okay to feel and how to feel. And so I really believe that this is actually an exciting time to be a woman. Very exciting time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing about that. And that makes total sense. And yeah, thank goodness things are shifting. And yeah, I was just watching The Crown, and that how things used to be, and the very kind of posh and stuffy qualities of the Queen, and also this kind of tension and trying to be, what is it to be a woman in power these days, and how can we be both, share both qualities of who we really are. So really enjoy what you said. Let's see. So you say that you help women who are stuck, and you help them get in touch with their feminine power and their purpose. And I think you've already spoken to this, but my question is, if you could share some of the ways that you do that, and maybe also like when women come to you and they're feeling stuck, how are they most stuck? Like, what are their main complaints that they have?
Super powerful question. Yeah. So the main one that I see with my clients, and that was a big one for me, is that it's okay to be emotional, to engage with your emotions and feel the full breadth and depth of being a woman, which is feeling into the rage, the anger, the sadness, the grief. I think a lot of us, our generation, even our mother's generation, and back, we were not held in a space where we felt like we could be emotional, that we could say how we felt, or even have a tool that we can healthily release those emotions. And as you know, emotions is just energy. It's energy in motion. It's neither good nor bad. It's just energy. And so how can we release that and let that go, and let go of all that energetic real estate that's literally being held in our body, so that we can create the space to allow something new and better, and to come into our life and go higher. So I find that's the biggest one, is that as women, we have not been able to be angry. We haven't been able to be angry. And so a lot of what I take through with my clients in the beginning is like how to do that in a healthy way. And it's not too late. It's never too late to feel and go through. And we're not talking about talk therapy, and we're just moving your body, doing things that just release that pent up energy, suppressed emotions. And then another one that I found is really big, where I find women are stuck, is their relationship and connection to other women. So that's been a big one, which has been blocking the energy and the flow of being able to connect more intimately with other women right now as an adult. So a lot of us carry these old stories where, we got teased, we got bullied, maybe we got the silent treatment, just something happened when we were younger, at, no blame to anybody. It's just when you're young, it's like, it is what it is, right? And things happen. And again, no mistakes, only lessons. And so how can we acknowledge what's happened, realize that it served us in some way to become who we are, the person we are today, but then let's let go of those old stories that are holding us back from what we truly desire, so that we can go higher and be the woman that we're really meant to become as an adult. So that, I would say, those are the two main things.
Okay, I'm getting a really nice sense of what you're up to, and I the word that just popped in was authenticity. It's something, I value very much, and that's what I'm hearing, is that you support women in being their authentic selves, and getting okay with that, like
Yes,
all your authentic emotions and your story and your struggles, and so that's so beautiful, and I agree that is empowering too. So wow, beautiful. Thank you for the work you're doing. I'm happy to hear about that. Yeah, well, I think
my next question was sort of, are there a couple tips you might offer us here today about how, you know, the ways that you help your clients? So it seems like you just kind of offered some, but if you did have anything else in mind, I'm sure.
Let me think, what have I shared so far? I think, I mentioned dancing. Dancing's really immediate, something you can do on your own, doesn't require something fancy. You can do it in lockdown, you can do it anywhere. I think most of us women, we enjoy dancing, but it's like, okay, it has to maybe be with someone else, or it has to be in a certain environment, or I have to dress up, when in fact, you don't need any of that. You just need yourself. This is tuning into your own, power. So it's like flipping on a song and doing a dance break once a day. That's something I do. I've been taught by one of my mentors. It's like, move your body, feel into the range of emotions. If you're feeling angry, put on a song that's going to get you angry, and just like start punching. Like you can even throw a pillow around, or if you're feeling sad, put on a grief song, feel into it, move super slowly, like hug yourself, cry if you need to. And then always end it with something joyful. End it with a song where you feel like life force is just like moving and pulsating through you, and bring that joy back into your life now that you've kind of emptied out and released those emotions in a healthy way. And then allow yourself to feel the pleasure of being a woman. I'd say that's like my one hot hack that I actually do every day. And I encourage and I take my clients through that. And then, of course, kind of like what you're doing right now in your Facebook group, and myself as well, is like having women come together, being in a safe and sacred container where they can be seen, where they can be heard, and know that they're not alone in their struggles and in their pain, and being witnessed for that. And just being in that safe container is already super healing, I found, like being able to be held in that, because as we know, like out there, it's not so possible. So being in a container where you can be with other women, that you can start to feel into the power and the connection and that feminine energy, and how beautiful, how healing, how transformative it is. And when you're conscious together, when you're on purpose, when you're like you in your group, you're working on your relationships, that when you are with other women that are playing higher at a higher level, that is super, super powerful. And that will help you to not only heal and transform your life, but manifest your desires, whatever it is that you desire in your life.
Amen. Yeah. A woman. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I so cherish the sisterhood, that we have here, and other groups that I'm part of. It's just, there's nothing like having women to support you, and a safe space, like you said. To yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how we met as well, right? So we met on a mastermind, and we're sisters now. And there's so much healing and power and all of that. And that's all about collaboration over competition. And it's so super powerful, as you know.
It can heal some of the old wounds of what you were talking about, women-to-women relationships that we've had. So yes to that. Let's move along here. So we have another question. Actually, I'm going to pop into the group because I saw that we've got some people listening, and thank you for being here. And there's a question, and I'm going to see about what she says. This is Farah, and she says, hello, and thank you for sharing your story. It's inspiring. I'm in the transition with my business, so tough in finding financial stability, so keeping faith it will change. Great, we're going to talk about that in a moment, actually. So I'm glad you brought that up. I feel my business is my calling. Great. How long did it take you to finally have a comfortable income? And I'm guessing she's asking you, Leslie. So if you want to chime in about that.
Yeah. Well, I would say definitely it doesn't immediately have to be one thing or another. There's definitely you can have your financial stable job while you are exploring, while you are pursuing other creative interests, or whatever it is that you're doing. There's no shame in holding down both, so that way you can use the money that you get from your immediate job to use it as a tool, which we'll talk about, so that you can expand into the things that really you start to feel passionate about, that you're passionate about, and that you think is more your calling. So that would be my number one encouragement, is to not feel like it has to be one or the other, because I felt that way for a long time, and I think we feel it's like one or like all or nothing type of thing, when in fact that's part of the feminine as well, is that we can hold many hats, we can do many things actually, because we are naturally gifted in that way, instead of the masculine way where it's like I'm one focused, I'm one track minded, it has to be this way or no way, where the feminine, it's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and like we're super good at all of it. So like, why not embrace that until and you're really, really connected that, okay, now I'm just going to take that leap 100% into something. So yeah, just really taking the time to use kind of your current job as your venture capitalist, if you will, so that you can feel more at ease while you're exploring what it is that you want to do. I hope that answered your question. If not, then can dive deeper into that.
And yeah, and you have something around this in a moment. So let's see. Well, just to bring it back to like that we're here in the Healthy Relationships Sisterhood. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you see living on purpose affecting women in their romantic relationships.
Huge, super huge. I think when we are resourced as a woman from the inside, when we are doing the things that light us up, because as I mentioned, we are naturally caregivers. So we will naturally put people and others before ourselves. And, that's even more so true for if you're in a relationship or you have children, you're just giving, that you, that the more and more you do things that light you up and bring you joy, and you do your self-care and you do what it is and take some time for yourself, the more you will be able to give, as a partner, wife, lover, mother, contributor to society. That was the one biggest takeaway I found, just being a wife and a mother, is that, I thought, no, I have to do it for everybody. I'm the caregiver. And I realized, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm like, and who's taking care of me? And just like, like that saying, if you're married, you kind of know, like, happy wife, happy life. Well, it's true. It's like the more and more, and it's not selfish at all. It's not selfish. Like you have to do that for yourself. And the more that you can fill up your self-care tank. And there's also that other saying, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. So just keep doing those things that resource you and bring you pleasure, without any guilt. Just know that it's gonna be better for you, your partner, and your children, and your work, the more and more that you do things for yourself, and you know that you are worth it, and you are completely deserving of that massage, or going on a trip, or whatever it is that you desire. You are absolutely worthy.
Yeah, I think a lot of women need to hear that. Pressure ourselves so much, and the masculine, wants to come forward and drive us, and so important to just, I think, hear that message again and again, especially like yourself, who's been on the path and found her own way to balance. So
yeah. And I will say this, because it just came forward to me, is that I think also when we do the work ourselves, that naturally will change our perspective on things. It will naturally change our vibration, and that will change the others around us. Like, we don't have control over other people. So I know in the beginning of my path, I was like, I want my husband to do yoga and meditation and all these things. And I was like, oh, he's not spiritual. And then I realized, okay, no, that's not the way forward. So I just kept working on my stuff, my old stories and all these other things. And that totally helped our relationship. So that would also be my big encouragement, is like, don't be so hung up on the other person and trying to change someone, because we can't. So the best thing that we can ever do for ourselves and our partner, and if you have children, is just continue doing for you and working on you, and knowing that it will affect your relationships in a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. When when you're happy and fulfilled, you're not dumping on people, you're not bitchy and complaining, you're not exhausted and making yourself sick. And so you are more fun to be around, more attractive, more able to give, all of that. It just spills forward, and you give better, and you do your service work better. So yeah, two thumbs up for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So Leslie, you recently taught a training that is still available, and I want women here to know about it. A training on clearing your money blocks, and you called it "Clear Your Money Blocks to Manifest Wild Success." So I love your title, and I'm excited that people can still access that for at least 2 or 3 more days or something. So go ahead and share a little bit about that, and let's I'll put in a link too for how people can find that while you're talking.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you for sharing and bringing that up. Yes, absolutely. I just concluded a 3-day training in my On Purpose Facebook group, On Purpose Collective Facebook group. Like you said, 3 keys to clear your money blocks and manifest wild success. And it's a topic that is so emotionally charged. And I think, again, there's not a lot of safe space for us women to talk about what that is. And so I found that, that was something that would be really supportive for women. And what I go through in the training is, first of all, identifying what those blocks are, because that's, again, would be different for different people. And a lot of that is systemic to our childhood, right? So identifying how did our parents, what was their relationship with money? How did we grow up perceiving money? Was it tough? Was it always around? And then, of course, how to choose a new story. So based on those conscious or subconscious beliefs, how can we choose a new story so that we can move forward, let go any negative, unwanted, toxic patterns that keep us in that kind of repeat, even though we know that we need money as a tool, but it's like, well, how can you use it in a way for, to do good, not just for yourself, but for others? That's, again, that whole on purpose element. And then finally, how to transform your money mindset. So as you know, 95% of what controls our lives is our subconscious mind. So how can we tap more into that so that we can bring more of that to the conscious and be more empowered with how we, go about our life in our money-making decisions, and also just our relationship with money. A big one for the women on my training is that I, brought up the idea that money is spiritual. Money is energy. Spirituality is all about expansion, as you know. And so money being a tool to give you those experiences in life, to expand your experience of life as a human here on earth, and using it as a tool. So yes, money is important. Is it like the answer to happiness and complete fulfillment? And no, but it is a tool. We do need money. So how can, first of all, identifying those blocks, recognizing that money is energy, it is spiritual. And then, transforming your mindset so that every time you are doing something, you're consciously choosing a new story, not from that old money story that we all have. We all have them. I
love that you're really addressing the mindset, and it's like so much of what we've talked about really is mindset here tonight, like in all areas, right? Because and you can disempower yourself with your mind, and you can empower yourself with your mind, and nothing in the world changes. It's all coming from you. So,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you. This is exciting. I love the sound of your training, and I hope women jump in and take advantage of that while it's available. How many days do they have to catch up on those 3 videos?
What day are we right now? We're Friday. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Oh, it's Friday for me. Wherever you are in the world, it could be Thursday. They'll definitely have they'll have a week. I'll give your women a little bit more time. And I know some people it's the day 3 of the watch party today. So if you want to join us, I'll be there live with commenting all the people. So it's watch party today. And then, you can definitely catch those replays up in the On Purpose Collective, and I'd love to meet you. And if you do come over, yeah, tag me, let me know that you're coming over from Robin's group, and yeah, I'd love to have you guys and expand the sisterhood globally.
Sharing our sisters here. Very cool. Yeah, definitely say hi from me when you pop in, and jump into that watch party if you can Friday, because you don't have to do it in sequence. Or is it okay if they just jump into
Yeah, I mean, it is okay if they just hop into one or the other. I do recap on all the days, but you'll definitely want to, if you can't do like at least training, the whole training one, you maybe just go in when you go through day 2 or 3, screenshot some of those slides, because there is that big self inquiry about, you know, your money story, your money memories. And that's so important to build upon for the training, because the more specific that you can get about what that was for you, because it will be different for different people, the better, the quicker you'll be able to heal that old story and transform it.
Excellent. Okay. So don't delay, ladies. It's going to be a great training, and it's available for just a short period of time. I think I'm going to have to get that.
Thank you, Robin, for sharing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I got in there a little bit, and then I went on a trip. So I'm glad there's a little more time for me to catch up too. That was a really, I really loved your energy in the training, and how the engagement and the Q&A that happened, and yeah, just some really good information there. So
thank you. All about empowering the women. And money's a big one. It's a heated, emotionally topic, but it's okay. It's good. It's good we talk about these things. Like I said before, engaging in your emotions and having sisterhood, a safe container where you can, feel it all, see it all, be witnessed. It's super powerful.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thanks for creating that. That's a good one. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. Let's see. So we talked about that. Oh, we've got last question here. What's one takeaway? You've already given so much, but is there one takeaway you want women to know about living on purpose and feminine power here today?
Yeah, what's one? That's always the $1 million question. Yeah, the one thing that's coming forward for me, I think, is the biggest takeaway, and yeah, it's probably the most important, is that, as women, as spiritual being, you are already whole and complete. You have all the answers within you. And, the sooner that you can feel into that, really feel into that, because logically, like, we probably know it, we know it, but really feel into that, the sooner you'll be able to, have all of that, like, live on purpose, feel fulfilled and satisfied, and feel into the truth of who you are, and manifest the life that you want as a woman right now on this earth. Yeah, so that would be my biggest takeaway, is whatever it is that resonates with you, those tools, those practices, those teachers, those healers, just do what resonates with you, and know that, like I said, you're not alone. You're always guided and supported, and you're exactly where you need to be.
I think we all need those reminders. We can be so hard on ourselves. So thank you for that.
Well,
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming over at 4 a.m. and really to have you. Fun to get to know you more than I did. And, I think your messages are just so in line with what we're doing here in the group. And I think that it's going to be really supportive for the women here. And I hope you all take advantage of the free training that's happening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you for having me, Robin. And so lovely to meet your women and be part of your sisterhood. And it's so beautiful what you're doing here as well. So, so important, the work you're doing. I'm looking forward to having you in my Facebook group, and we'll let your sisters know when that's happening soon. But thank you again for having me, and all the best in Costa Rica.
Thank you. We've got 4 more days. Mwah. Let's see.